Hello again, friends. Glad you could join us. Welcome to Adult Disneyland. It is the Las Vegas Strip Circuit for another edition of the Midwest F1 League here in Division 1. This is what is going to undoubtedly be, in my opinion, hopefully, at least, one of the races to watch this season. Anyways, let's get to your starting grid. It will be race day on pole, 10th and a half behind, 10th and a half behind him is Rapid Reimer in second. It's a second row lockout for the Ferrari team of Sui and Cali Robb, which is interesting. Sui provided quite the tow for Cali Robb. Cali Robb only able to jump about one position because of it. It'll be race chase in fifth. The top five cars within 5.5 tenths of each other. Then it drops back to Lancy in sixth. Gottney Weeb seventh. Eighth will belong to Nicky 64. Ninth is Travis Scott's. Actually, a fifth row lockout for the Alpines as Travis Scott's and Gab lines up in the 9th and 10th spots. Then a sixth row lockout for the McLarens as Gunnar Addy and Brett drives fast. 11th and 12th. 13th will be Shirai Coleslaw, the final car on track with a time to his name. Houdini and Final Flame will round out the back end of the grid with no time on the board. This Las Vegas Strip Circuit here, we're going to see a lot of overtaking done. Hopefully, at least. Even though that strip DRS section has been shortened quite significantly, we're still going to see a lot of moves be made. Don't forget, though, this is a street circuit above all else, and there is plenty of, places for these drivers to be caught out by surprise. That fifth corner, heading on to Westchester Drive over by the Sphere, the tight right-hander after the Koval Lane DRS section. It reminds me a lot of like turn 8 at Singapore. You just get done having the DRS. It's a very tight right-handed corner. Absolutely no runoff to the outside, so that'll have you there. Down the strip, obviously, into Planet Hollywood corner. That little trifecta of 14, the left-hander, the little right-handed flick of 15, and then the back to the left-hander at 16. That will catch drivers out by surprise, I'm sure. And then into this first corner. It's not a very long run into that first corner. 1, 2, and 3 are going to be very quick here. Race day 2016 starts this one from the pole. He'll have the outside on the way into turn 1. However, through turn 2, 3, and 4, the Rochelle Avenue intersection, which we're going to see right here, that is, I would think, a place where you would want to be along around the outside there. 3 cars starting on the hard tires. Travis Scott, Shirai Coleslaw, and Final Flame will be that. Everybody else has gone medium for this occasion. We're going to see a lot of moves. Maybe not into this DRS section here, but then again, I think the last time I casted a race here in Vegas, it was either Monkey Mafia or CCRL, and I was definitely wrong about that. There was a lot more moves into this corner than I initially expected. And so maybe just we'll get some desperation attempts here. What I do see is this. The pair of the Ferraris are on the same strategy. The Alpines have gone differently. The McLarens have gone the same medium tire strategy as well. Probably holding out for safety cars, potentially. Maybe if they're feeling lucky, an overcut or an undercut. The difficult thing about this track is that really the most amount of pace you're going to get is with DRS. So if you try the overcut or the undercut, you got to hope that you're going to have DRS to a car either ahead of you or around you, really. Because if you don't have that, you're going to fall back significantly. There you go. Lap 11 to 17 is the strategy from medium to hard. Of course, this is a rather short Grand Prix here compared to what we normally have. These are obviously 90-second lap times. It is a decently long track, this. 1:36.51, the time set by race day, was good enough for pole. What I'll say is this, is I have yet to see a bad race happen at this track as I cast it. Every time we visited this circuit, and I've been on the call, I have been impressed. Let's see if that will hold true again today. As they go by Top Golf there on the right and look to form up on the grid. Race day will have that outside line once again into that first corner. Reimer will be on the inside. Not usually known for his massive getaways here, as it appears the Ferraris have been disqualified for some reason. Now just waiting for Final Flame to take the place of the final spot on the grid. Well, heading into that first corner, who is going to get away better? Who's going to get the advantage as the lights are turning on here in Las Vegas? 5 lights on, and they are off. And I would say it's been a very even getaway between the two. If anything, I think Reimer has gotten away slightly better. And as they make their way into turn one, Race Day will still get around the outside. Reimer still to the inside. A little bit of contact there. The two Ferraris get away cleanly. Oh, and that's the Sauber of Race Chase. I think he may have gone into the wall there. He's now been squeezed against the Aston Martin of Nicky 64. He's going to fall back to 9th. It's been a terrible start for Race Chase as we have a yellow flag at the back. Gab has gone round from, I believe, that 6th row, and he finds himself now, 5th row, he finds himself at the tail end of the grid. It's been a very poor start for him as they make their way into the sphere corners now. Top two have stayed the same. Everybody else except for 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th have had something happen. Final Flame is up 7 positions on this start here as they exit the sphere corners, heading down Sands Avenue now, heading towards Treasure Island Turn 12, as I like to call it. Race Day does lead by 6.5 tenths into Treasure Island, and as he gets away, tell you what, he's going to be unchallenged this time by, of course, no DRS until the second lap of the race. And I'm just thinking now, does Reimer try and use that energy store to get up close to him now to really put the pressure on him? And maybe have a move be made into turn 5, heading up Westchester Drive towards the sphere? That's, well, it's not going to happen here, because Cali Robb is going to go up the inside of Reimer, up to that second spot, side by side, through Planet Hollywood, wheel to wheel as they go. Lots of contact there. Thankfully, I think they've, kind of sorted it out. Still a lot of contact being made. Lancey is now kind of having to check up in the middle of this, as well as Gottney Weeb. They're stacked up here pretty much 2 by 2. It's looking like NASCAR here in Las Vegas as they make their way now back down into turn number 1. It's all so close between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Even 7th is Nicky 64 trying to get in this battle as well. Heading down Koval Lane, DRS is going to be activated as Reimer will look to get ahead of Cali Robb as he looks behind him. Reimer, well, he'll have a look probably to the left side. The left side of Cali Robb. He's not going to be able to make an overtake happen as we look behind the Williams, Gottney Weeb, Final Flame, and Nicky 64 all kind of getting jumbled up going through that corner. They've sorted it out. But I think as we're going to go down the strip this next time, we're going to see a lot of moves be made, as meanwhile Race Day now has a 2.5 second advantage back to Cali Robb in second. That's a huge, huge gap to have, because not only are you outside of DRS range, DRS obviously means a lot on this track, that means Cali Robb is going to back up any of these guys with DRS behind him. That is going to even more help Race Day. Down the strip they go again. Of course, they won't have DRS until they about hit the Bellagio. Sorry, more or less Caesar's Palace. On that right side, Reimer's going to get round Cali Robb before DRS is even activated. Still as they look, Nicky 64 has gotten around Gottney Weeb. Swee is going to try Lancey around the outside. Lancey's going to look to the inside of Cali Robb. Not quite as they go through Planet Hollywood. Lancey a bit of a slide, getting on acceleration there. Is Final Flame and Nicky side by side. Oh, and Final Flame's going to end up in the barriers. And so is Nicky 64 as well. Those two, we talked about it a little bit in the build-up. They've tried to go side by side through Planet Hollywood there, that kind of 3-corner section of the track. It's almost too narrow to go through one car incorrectly. They've gone for 2. And front wings will need to be changed here. Nicky 64 into the pit lane. Final Flame battling with Houdini now. Oh, Final Flame, bit of a slide. He's going to only just catch it. Apparently he does not actually have any visible wing damage, which is a little surprising. They go through the sphere corners now. Cali Robb is even now losing time to Reimer. Something is not right with that Ferrari, or he is just not having a good grip on the circuit right now. He lost about 2.5 seconds back to Race Day, and now Reimer's gotten around him, has put about a second back to the Ferrari in question. Lancey's going to be next up to bat to be able to get around the Ferrari of Cali Robb. Of course, Swee is in this mix as well. Swee's in the mix. Gottney Weeb seems to have fallen behind. He's going to be under pressure from Race Chase as Lancey. What's he going to decide to do now? Probably going to have a look to the inside of Cali Robb. Swee watches on and hopes for a mistake from the V-carb. As Lancey catching up. Heading into Planet Hollywood down the inside as Lancey's going to get that one. As we look behind, Race Chase getting around Gottney Weeb. Side by side they go. Race Chase is more or less going to cede position there. And down Harbin Avenue they go back towards Topgolf and then the pit straight. As Rapid Reimer will now have the fastest lap. I was going to say it was Race Day there. It's been taken as Travis Scott looking to the inside of Race Chase. Heading in through that first corner, he's also going to back off. Not really in position to make it happen. So Reimer, despite now having the fastest lap, is not really gaining time to race day. What I will say is this. Reimer has gotten up to that second spot. More or less back again. And anybody behind him, he's actually pulling here. He's pulling Lancey. He pulled Cali Robb when Cali Robb was ahead of the V-Carb a couple of laps ago. Reimer and race day on some significant pace, but at the moment, nobody challenging that Mercedes. Question is now do we see Sui try to get around Cali Robb and potentially... That's a difficult question because I think Sui is definitely... I don't want to say definitely the quicker driver, but you have to think Cali Robb has been losing time. While we have a minute now, let's look at our driver and constructor standings after round 4 in Spain. Race day does lead the table. 232 points. Cali Robb in second, behind by 23. Lancey in third. Race Chase 4th, Nicky 5th, 6th is Gottney Weeb, 7th Sui, 8th Shariah, 9th is Reimer, and 10th is Travis Scott. Race day looking to go back-to-back as Cali Robb. Going to have a look to the inside of Lancey now, up Harmon Avenue and towards Topgolf. Final corners, we do have a yellow flag. The Mercedes of Final Flame has gone off. Looks like he's recovered. Oh, and Lancey's going to lose the car. The back end really wanted to come around under braking, and he's lost the spot to Cali Robb. And Cali's going to have DRS to his teammate as well. That's a huge error for Lancey. As far as the constructors are concerned, the Ferraris lead the way by 42 points over the Saubers. Mercedes in third, McLaren fourth, Aston Martin fifth, Williams in sixth, the Alpines seventh, Red Bulls in eighth, the V-Carbs in ninth, and the Haas's in 10th. Just a reminder, the next upcoming races here, we head to Imola next time out. And then we are done until 2025. Christmas break, December the 26th. We pick back up at January the 2nd in Hungary. And Singapore, January the 9th. Those are the next 3 rounds of this championship. So of course, only a 25-lap Grand Prix this. At the line this time will be 20 laps to go, which does seem to go quite quickly. Reimer has gotten now within a second and a half of race day, while still also having 2.5, nearly 3 seconds back to Sui, as Travis Scott's going to get around Gottney Weeb. Lancey is not quite close enough to Cali Robb that time. As they make their way through Planet Hollywood, I'm just waiting to see if and when that next critical error is made that results in another position gained or lost. I will say a couple of these guys have kind of fallen from grace here, Shariah being one of them, although Shariah up 3 positions, does currently have a 2.5 second gap back to Gunner, and I don't recall Shariah really making a mistake at any point. Brett drives fast, 3 seconds behind him, Gab's about a second behind him. Gab had a terrible start in that Alpine, I'm afraid, as Gottney Weeb is going to try, have a look around Travis Scott's, not quite this time. Up Westchester Drive they go, heading towards the Sphere Corners. Very rarely are you going to see a move be made here. Although mistakes could happen, we do see drivers miss that corner. Having to go straight on at the chicane. Sometimes it does happen, and sometimes we also do see some drivers having gone round with oversteer. It is possible. But what's even more possible is this, is now Reimer is within a second of race day. At the top of the grid. Oh, I think I say that. Coming out of Treasure Island corner, he was absolutely within a second. He's now lost it. Reimer was within about 8/10 of race day, and he's lost it, I think, on acceleration there. Heading now in towards Planet Hollywood again. Gottney Weeb can have a look at Travis Scott here. Oh, that's a big slide for Travis. And now Gottney Weeb is going to have a look maybe to the inside of the Alpine in question. He's absolutely having a look here. Past Topgolf they go. And to the inside, Gottney Weeb is going to have that one up to 6th. But Travis Scott has not let go just yet through turns 1 and 2. DRS will be activated for the Alpine. We'll check with that one in a minute, what we do have now. So once again, the Ferrari's close up here. Reimer is within half a second of race day. I think not having DRS is finally caught up with race day. As Travis Scott will go around the outside of Gottney Weeb looking through turn 5. He's done it, yes. Oh, but a lot of wheel spin there, getting back on throttle. So now as they make their way down Sands Avenue and heading towards Treasure Island now. Let's see if Reimer will be able to challenge Race Day down the strip this time. We're assuming he can. Into the corner they go. And down the strip, of course, they won't have DRS until getting towards Caesar's Palace. And it looks like Race Day is just having a much easier time of getting the throttle down. Reimer not even having to use his energy store for the time being. DRS activated now, finally, for the Red Bull, as it looks as if the two Ferraris are going to swap spots now. Reimer does get within 3.5 of a second of Race Day, but no move is made. As we look back now, Travis Scott's leads Gottney Weeb. Heading through Planet Hollywood now. Travis Scott's, well, he's not had a good go of that section of corner. Has really had to back Gottney Weeb up. As this is also allowing Race Chase and Gunner into the mix as well. As Gottney Weeb having a look to the inside. Just a little bit, not quite. Oh, there he goes. Bit of a lock up there on the back end. Travis Scott's is going to float wide as well. I thought Race Chase was going to sneak his way to the inside. It's not happened. But now DRS is going to be activated. Race Chase is going to have a hell of a run here. Oh, he's hit the wall, actually, I believe, as Gottney Weeb does get around Travis Scott. DRS still activated for the Sauber. And no, oh, look at this. Gunner has absolutely sent it then to the inside. Race Chase was looking to have a move on Travis Scott. The McLaren was there, and Gunner up to 8th. What a great move that was, and he's absolutely caught the Sauber out by surprise. Into the pit lane is Final Flame. Quarter of a second between the top two, or less. So exiting the corner. Heading down the strip once again. We can assume Reimer will most likely attack this time. Race Day starting to use his energy store slightly defensively now, as we kind of expected him to do. DRS now activated for the Red Bull. As we watch along with Race Day, how will he defend? He'll choose the inside. Reimer will have to go the long way around. Reimer's going to try to cut back to the left. Oh, he might just have it. No, not quite. Good effort there from Reimer, absolutely letting Race Day know that he's there. Oh, and that's a big one. Gottney Weeb and Travis Scott. Sorry, that was Gottney Weeb and Gunner. Try to go side by side through the corner. This front wing littering the track as we have a safety car. Final Flame is retired, that being on track as well over by the Sphere, as we're going to have both sets of McLarens and Saubers into the pit lane. Yeah, that's now the second time today we've seen guys try to go side by side through that corner, and it's not worked at all. The first time nor this time. No front wing change for Shariah. Race Chase, I believe. No, it doesn't appear to be a wing change for him either. Well, I definitely saw Carbon fly through the air at some point. Nicky64, who I believe is already stopped. Yes, he has. 5-lap-old hard tires. Remember, he had stopped earlier. Might pick up at least a spot here on Houdini. No, I don't even think he will. Travis Scott then with a 10-second penalty for the collision. Currently the only driver on track with any sort of time penalty to his name. The top 6 guys have yet to stop. That will eventually promote Shariah Coleslaw to the lead of this Grand Prix on a fresh set of medium tires. Not too sure if I like that at the moment. Of course, these medium tires have not had a full run on them, so we don't really know what we're going to be able to expect from these from the mediums, but we're going to get at least a couple of laps under safety car here. That'll help Shariah. Yeah, this is an interesting scenario here, because I think Shariah is going to get off to a good start, but whether or not he'll be able to stay there. Of course, this track isn't really high degradation by any mean. It's very high speed. Lots of times drivers will have difficulty keeping the tires up to temperature, as we do see now. the masses enter the pit lane. Both Ferraris as well. That's not going to help Sui by any mean. Lancey comes in. Hard tires going on. What? Okay. Very odd. Anyway. So, the grid will stand now like this. We do have Shariah Coleslaw atop the grid. Gottney Weeb in second, Gunner third, Race Chase back to fourth. Race Day will drop to fifth, Brett to sixth, Gab seventh, eighth is Swee, ninth is Lancey, 10th is Reimer. What's going on with Reimer during that stop? Is he had to have a front wing change? He was in second place. He's not only lost position there to Race Day, he's lost to Brett, to Gab, Race Day stopped ahead of him. Yeah, he's lost at least spots to both Swee and Lancey. That is a really odd situation there. I'm not really sure where along the line Reimer has lost that spot. But either way, coming up closer to halfway. And even after that, will be 10 laps to go. What has so far been a high-paced Las Vegas Grand Prix, and I believe we're going to have the safety car in this time as Travis Scott is catching up to the back end of the grid now. Now, I would like to point something out here, is that I have casted a total of 3 different leagues and races here in Las Vegas where the safety car has been glitched and stays out for another lap. The safety car will decide to come in, exiting Planet Hollywood up here at this corner. If it goes any later, sometimes it actually misses the pit entry and actually does not come to the pit lane. It's made its mind up now. We can assume the safety car is going to be in this lap, which is already said. It looks at least as if it's found the pit lane. Yeah, sometimes it'll try to go late, and there's the pit lane entry line there. The safety car doesn't make up its mind. It won't come in, and it'll stay out another lap. So green flag back in the air. Shariah Coleslaw, no funny business then on the start. As he gets us back going, he's got a 7/10 of a second lead back to Gottney Weeb. As Swee and Gab battling it out there. Swee to the inside has gotten around the Alpine in question. As the Alpine now having to fend off Lancey and Reimer behind. Side by side. Oh, Lancey, I think, has gotten into the wall there. Going off the side of the Alpine. Wheel to wheel they go. As Reimer. Oh, Reimer's going to try the outside. Double overtake on the way for Reimer. He's got it. Only just. Lancey's going to break. Oh, and Lancey goes into the side of Reimer. And will now tumble down the order. As Race Day has gotten around Race Chase heading through the sphere corners. Wow, so Reimer there, double overtake, and Lancey plows into the side of the Red Bull and goes round. And now Swee to the inside of Brett drives fast down Sands Avenue. And up to 6th. Race Day is going to get around Gunner. I don't think Gunner has had that good of an exit of Treasure Island there. He's lost that spot almost immediately. As Shariah leads Gottney Weeb only by 7/10 of a second. You'd think with those medium tires he'd be kind of starting to pull away. That's not the case at all. As Reimer's going to get around Brett. And so appears to be Gab and maybe even the Ferrari of Cali Rob. Yes, Brett drives fast, is losing positions left and right. Literally and figuratively. Side by side in through Planet Hollywood now. Brett drives fast, will zipper merge back in line into 9th. As Nicky defends, Lancey's going to try to have a look to the inside. DRS will be activated as they make their way down Koval Lane. Side by side, Lancey and Nicky 64. That one's going to sort itself out for now. Nicky will not be able to make anything happen. Brett drives fast. Oh, and Lancey into the back end of Nicky. And good a little bit of bump and run action there as the Dutchman goes into the into the left rear of the Aston Martin. Oh, look at this. Gottney Weeb is really sending it here. Oh, and clean into the side of Shariah. He's gone for desperation. And along with desperation, he's picked up depression as well, as that one has not worked. He's absolutely gone for the dive there on the inside of Shariah Coleslaw. It's not happened. Even I thought that was a bit risky. I mean, absolutely right to trying to go for it, but that was a really, really noticeable lunge there. Down the strip they go. Of course, DRS will be activated this time by. The question is who will take the best advantage of, is at the line this time we will be halfway through this Grand Prix. Race Chase is going to get around Gunner. Race Day, despite having DRS, actually does not really climb any higher up to Shariah. In through Planet Hollywood they go. And yeah, that one's going to stay pretty tame for the time being. I think maybe down Koval Lane will Race Day have a look. Swee's going to get around Gunner, as well as Reimer's going to try the outside of the McLaren now. And Reimer back up to 5th, a little bit late on the brakes, is going to push high. Gunner maybe could have had an opportunity there, as now the battle for the lead as Shariah leads Race Day only by a couple of tenths, a tenth and a half as Race Day to the inside. DRS activated, and Race Day back to the lead. What I will say is this good-looking result so far for the Sauber team. 2nd and 3rd on track, as we've got Callie Robb having gotten around Gab, as Lancey trying to get around Brett. Lancey still to the inside. Wheel to wheel they go, heading towards the sphere. He's going to back off. So we do realistically have almost an 8-car battle here. Not necessarily battle, but all within DRS range of each other. Important question is this, is will Shariah be able to get back up to Race Day? Oh, look at this. Race Day is... I tell you what, Race Day so far today has gotten so good in putting down the accelerator so much quicker than the other drivers. I mean, he pulls them out of that corner in particular. The car obviously is not going to be good in the straight line with no DRSs. We're going to see Shariah blow by Race Day here. Yet well to the inside is behind Swee and Reimer side by side. Wheel to wheel, and Swee is going to cede position there. Reimer up to 4th. Reimer's gone a bit gutsy there, and it's paid off for him. Race Day now might have a look around the outside. No, will he have a look to the inside? No. Well, we have a yellow flag, and it's a safety car on track again, as Nikki 64 has shed the entirety of the front wing and the barriers, exiting Planet Hollywood. Yeah, any other circumstances, I'm not liking that call for a full safety car. However, it is a street circuit. There's no runoff in that section of the track. Is it in the racing line? Not really, but he's also shed the front wing. What we saw in Qatar in real life with having a single wing mirror destroy the races of 2 drivers. Well, if it's a front wing, probably a good call for the safety car there. Question is now is, do we see guys go to a fresh set of soft tires? Kind of thinking that might be what we see drivers do, as at the line next time by will be 10 laps to go. I am beginning to think that we're going to see some strategy come into play now. Whether or not it plays out that way, I'm not entirely sure. Well, let's find out. Shariah Coleslaw is more or less in control of the strategy. He's not gone in. Neither is Race Day. Race Chase will go, and Reimer stays out, Swee stays out, Callie Robb, Gab all stay out. Matter of fact, only 2 drivers appear to be coming into the pit lane this time by. Actually, 3, sorry. It's the Sauber of Race Chase, Brett Drives Fast, and Travis Scott, the only 3, making their way into the pit lane. Medium tires going on for Brett. So, I think what we're seeing here is some of these guys were probably thinking about stopping. I mean, these guys have put on another set of medium tires. So I think they wanted to stop for softs. It's just a little too early. Certainly what it seems like. That it just really wasn't. Question will be now. So, I think this is helping Shariah, though, realistically, because he has now spent, out of the 6 laps of age that his medium tires have, he's probably only spent about 3 at racing speed. Of course, your tires will still wear under the safety car. There's no doubt about that. As much as you try to work heat into them, they will wear a couple of percents here and there. But realistically, for Shariah, I mean, this is a really interesting thing here, because the guys behind him will still be on the better tire come the back end of the Grand Prix. That much is true. But Shariah, will he be able to still have a slight bit of an advantage? Safety car will not come in this time by. It's rather missed its cue. So 10 laps to go at the line right now. Next time by, the 17th lap of the Grand Prix will be 9 laps to go. Well, this is, again, very interesting for Shariah. I'm wondering how much temperature he's been able to keep into the tires. I haven't seen him weaving at all. Of course, it's been a problem here in Vegas. Even in real life, is getting tire temperature into the mix, really. Once again, we'll get back to green flag racing here with 9 laps to go. Shariah Coleslaw in control of this race. Of course, the restart. He does, however, have the reigning, defending, undisputed champion of Division 1 right behind him. He's got Reimer really quick in his own right. Swee and Cali Robb currently leading the Constructors' Championship behind him. This is very difficult here for Shariah. How will he respond to the pressure? They do say diamonds are made under pressure. Is Shariah Coleslaw going to hit the jackpot? Or is he believing in fool's gold? We're going to find out here momentarily, as the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Shariah Coleslaw this time will try to use a little bit of trickery here, and now chooses to get going. Race-A has not been caught up by surprise. Reimer has. Reimer was in the middle of weaving when Shariah decided to get going. Race-A is going to be right up alongside the Sauber going into the corner. Not quite. Lancey's going to try to get round Gunner. He'll choose the outside through that first corner, and it looks like for the time being he's going to be able to have it. Nicely done. But for now, as they make their way down Koval Lane, Race-A is all over the back end of that bright green Sauber, is looking to the inside. He's not going to be too ridiculous this time. Asui had a slight look on Reimer, chose to back out of it. No DRS until next time by, naturally. But still, Race-A in a really good position. He so far has Shariah matched every step of the way. Bit of a slide, getting on acceleration there for Shariah. That's part of what's made Race-A really good today. Absolutely 0 driving mistakes from the Mercedes so far. Making their way down Sands Avenue, heading to Treasure Island. Shariah Coleslaw's gonna, I don't think, nearly have as good of a go through that corner. To the inside of Shariah, Race-A goes, and back to the lead of the Grand Prix. Race-A potentially looking for 4 wins out of 5 races. Oh, look at this. Reimer's trying to go around the outside of Shariah. Oh, Shariah's locked it up on the back end. He's going to tumble down the order. Oh, and that is heartbreaking for Shariah Coleslaw. Reimer, I think, kind of surprised him there around the outside. Shariah tried to outbrake him, and he's fully locked it up. Is now Swee to the inside of Reimer, looking for that second spot. Not quite. Callie Robb in this battle as well. Gab maybe on the outside looking in, but still trying to peek through the door. Shariah's fallen all the way back down to 14th. So unfortunate for him. Very well could have been on pace for a podium. Doesn't look like it's going to happen now. DRS activated, but not going to be really useful for Reimer, Sui, or Callie Robb. Or Gab, for that matter, as well. Into the sphere corners, Race Day still leads, 0.6 of a second. This is where Race Day gets really dangerous, is being allowed this free air and, you know, being free from pressure is going through Sands Avenue. Race Day is already pulling Reimer. Heading into that first into the Treasure Island corner. So down the strip they go. DRS obviously activated this time by Lancey getting around Gab to the inside will pick up the 5th spot. The Ferrari of Sui could potentially have a good look, but he's got to start pushing. Callie Robb's going to block low and try to defend from Lancey and Gab behind. Gab is actually going to try to stay ahead of the V-Carb here. He actually, side by side, wheel to wheel they go. Gab into the inside wall. Has a difficult time getting back on throttle. He's going to lose it to Gottney Weeb as well as Race Chase. Gottney Weeb to the inside of Lancey up to 5th. That's a bold move there. Very difficult section of the track to get right in overtaking, despite its apparent ease in the to the eye. Race Day 2016, I believe we'll know just about that. I think in one of our first races here, he crashed fighting for the podium going through that final corner on the final lap. Speaking of Race Day, he's fighting with Reimer now. The line this time will be 6 laps to go. Making their way through the sphere corners and now about to head down Sands Avenue. 0.4 of a second. Oh, and I think Race Day may have hit the wall there, exiting the corner. Reimer's going to have a really good opportunity now. He may have to take him before they get to Treasure Island. Race Day will defend low. Reimer's going to have to be forced a long way round. Reimer's going to have to hope for a good exit here out of Treasure Island, and it's pretty bang on even between the two of them. I think, if anything, this may involve Callie Robb and Sui into the mix now. 4-car battle for the lead as they go down the strip. DRS will be activated. Reimer's going to choose low. So will Callie Robb. So will Sui. How many spots will Race Day lose here? At least 1, then 2. Into the inside goes Callie Robb looking for the double. He's not quite going to get it, but he will get around Race Day and up to 2nd. Reimer back to the lead. Wow, and what an opportunity there for Callie Robb. Nearly had a go at Reimer as well. Ran out of real estate. And I'm just thinking about this now. Callie Robb, really, when he was behind Race Day earlier in the race, was losing a lot of time to him. I'm thinking, could that be possible now as Lancey and Gottney Weeb side by side, as Gottney Weeb will get up the inside of the Dutchman. 0.6 of a second, Reimer to the back, or sorry, Callie Robb to the back of Reimer, as Race Day now has DRS as well as Sui. Race Day's going to have to go the long way around. Heading up Westchester Drive, it's not going to happen. As these 3 cars fight, Reimer is pulling off into the distance. He's got 0.8 of a second, the gap. 2.5 seconds behind this battle of the top 4 is that of Gottney Weeb in 5th, who's under pressure from Lancey, Race Day, potentially Gab and Gunner as well. Callie Robb now outside of a second on Reimer. This is not good here for Callie Robb. Again, that car has gotten into clean air and has really fallen behind. Exiting Treasure Island, Race Day is going to have not necessarily an easy one here, but will that propel him? Will that give him momentum into a run to get back up to Reimer within these last 5 laps? Of course, 5 laps to go, coming up in the line this time. Race Day will choose the outside line. Sui will have to look on and see his teammate be overtaken as Gottney Weeb and Lancey side by side heading towards Planet Hollywood corner now, as well as Gab trying the outside of Race Chase. Lancey's going to dispatch of the Williams quite quickly then. And now Race Day will be able to reel Reimer back in and take the 2 Ferraris along with him. 5 laps to go here in Las Vegas. As Chase to the inside of Gottney Weeb, going up Harmon Avenue and then down the pit straight and up to 6th. Although Gottney Weeb is going to retry it down to the inside, contact being made. Looks as if they're going to keep their cool for the time being. Race Chase is going to drift a little bit wide. Gottney Weeb is going to switch him back to the inside. Goes Gottney Weeb. Wheel to wheel they go. for that 6th spot, and not quite going to find it this time unless Scotty Weeb have a bit of a dive into the corner. No, not this time. Race day now is 3.5 tenths of a second. Oh, he's had a bit of a slide there in through the first part of the sphere corner. Cali Robb is losing time to the back end of race day. This is not good. Sui has got to get around his teammate here. I think that's got to be the option. Because Sui is quick and Cali Robb is losing time in clean air to the cars ahead of him. In through Treasure Island once again, and it's increasingly looking like it's going to be a mano-a-mano battle for the win here between Race Day and Reimer. Down the strip again. Race Day, I think, will surely have an advantage here. Cali Robb, I think, will he get DRS? Yes, he will, only just. Race Day to the inside, back to the lead. Race Chase to the inside of Lancey, up to 5th. Bit of a slide there for Sui. That's not gone well. Reimer, of course, looking for his 2nd ever Division 1 win, his first round number 1 of Season 13, where he took the win at Monaco. Has not won since then in Midwest. Bit of a slide there for Race Day. Race Day looking for 4 wins out of the first 5 rounds of this season. The defending champion of Race Day, looking like it could be his season again. Of course, these two teammates last season won the Constructors' Championship with Red Bull. A fantastic duo now finds themselves battling head-to-head. A battle that, of course, Race Day won last season. Travis Scott's got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. I think he must have gone off at the sphere. Cali Robb has actually gained back about 3 tenths back to this battle. At the line this time will be 3 laps to go. And now Reimer all over the back end of Race Day won't make the move happen this time as Lancey and Nicky side by side. There's a 3-car battle here. Yes, it is. Nicky's going to have to back out. Lancey and Gab side by side. And Lancey, I think, is going to pull off a double there. Cali Robb now all over the back end of Reimer. 3 laps to go. Cali Robb to the inside of the Red Bull in question. Race Day's going to drift a little bit wide under braking. This could allow Cali Robb firmly into the mix now. Sui also on the outside looking in, but still I think could have the pace to get it done. DRS activated. Reimer around the outside of Race Day, back to the lead. Oh, and look at this. Cali Robb's going to try to send it in towards the turn 5 at Westchester Drive. Has he done it? He's going to have to go the long way around through the sphere corners. They're side by side. Sui watches on and hopes his teammate makes something happen, and Race Day is going to be able to fend him off only just. What a battle this is now. Going down Sands Avenue yet again. Reimer currently a 7.5 tenths of a second over that of Race Day. Race Day very much more under pressure from Cali Robb. Sui trying to get back into this mix, but for the time being, he's not able to get around his teammate nor Race Day. Although could that change now? Sui on the throttle, looking to dispatch of his teammate here. He does, even without DRS. And now Sui looking to get in the battle for that win. Race Day has a slight peek to the inside of Reimer. Not going to happen. 2 laps to go at the line this time. Race Day 2016 all over the back end of Reimer. 4 cars battling for the win here. The pair of the Ferraris, former teammates last season in what were the Red Bulls of Reimer and Race Day. Race Day, the defending champion. 3-time Constructors champion in his own right as well. 2-time Drivers champion. I think Race Day got really close to the wall there, exiting the corner. Reimer, for the time being, could be on pace to take his 2nd ever win. Sui, I believe, is looking for his 1st ever. Gab's going to look to the inside of Lancey. Not quite. And so now, with a lap and a half to go, who decides to play spoiler to Reimer's second ever potential Division 1 win? Will it be Race-Day, who appears to be the favorite? Race-Day might be the favorite in this battle right now, but I think it's still a gamble choosing him. Although we are in Vegas, a good gamble every once in a while is absolutely something to look forward to. But right now, Race-Day, saving up his energy store, it does not have anything for Reimer for the time being. Through Planet Hollywood, oh, that was a terrible go with the corner there for Sweet, but I think Race-Day hasn't fared much better. 8.5 tenths of a second. Race-Day to the back end of Reimer, final lap of the Grand Prix underway. Race-Day within 6 tenths of a second. Sweet actually starting to fall behind. Cali Robb trying to get back in position here. Sweet will not, well, I thought was almost not going to have DRS to the 2 cars ahead. Does have DRS after all, but is not in position currently to find a move on either of the 2 drivers ahead. Cali Robb 4.5 tenths behind. Race-Day 4 tenths away from Reimer as they make their way through the sphere corners for the final time. And this is just shaping up to be a fantastic duel to the end here. Even if Race-Day looks to go side by side through those final couple corners, it's going to be an absolute drag race to the line here as both drivers under 50% of battery. Sui is now a second and a half outside this battle. He probably will not be able to claw that back in the time he's got remaining. Down the strip for the final time. Race-Day starts the strip 8.5 tenths of a second behind. Will he be able to get back up here? DRS is going to be activated here momentarily. Cali Robb will get around his teammate. But now, final DRS of the race. Race-Day behind by 6 tenths of a second into Planet Hollywood. This is not going well for Race-Day. It looks like his best opportunity is behind him. As they make their way down Harmon Avenue, Reimer's going to have to defend the inside. Reimer is going to run away with this one. Welcome back to the winner's circle here in Division 1. Reimer, for the second time in his career, wins a Midwest F1 Division 1 Grand Prix, and it's the Las Vegas Grand Prix to his name now. Second goes to Race-Day, third and fourth, a fantastic showing by the pair of the Ferraris. Cali Robb will get that final step of the podium. Sui in fourth, Race Chase in fifth, Nicky sixth, up 2 positions. Driver of the day, I think, might actually go to Houdini at this point. But anyways, everyone, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time out, December the 19th in Imola, for what should be another fantastic edition of the Midwest F1 League for Hotspot. It has been a pleasure joining you here. Congratulations to Reimer. We'll see you next time.